Hey, everybody, it's Dr. John. Today, we're going to be talking about mentality. All right, you guys. So, I'm super excited about this one, mainly because, personally, I believe this is it's a call forward. It's not calling anybody out. Rather, it's calling not just you forward, but myself, and understanding that with any good thing, whether it be in business, your personal goals, health, and fitness, whatever you're trying to achieve in life, we know that we must first develop the mindset to overcome, whether it be self-doubt, and help rewire some of these feedback loops we have in our lives right now, which again, being somebody who's gone through this life, I'm almost in my 30s. I've truly understood that, um, without changing my mindset, without changing my thoughts and my belief systems, I would never be where I am today. I read the books, I've read the quotes. I was in high school, and I believed in myself, and I knew that anything was possible. But behind the curtains, I wasn't doing the things that I was supposed to. In fact, I wasn't truly practicing what I preach. It's like understanding the law of attraction works. It's real. But we don't follow any of the other 11 universal laws out there. So we often get confused. Why aren't we reaching our goals? Why aren't we becoming the person we want to become? And so today, my goal with you guys is to help you overcome your self-limiting beliefs, help you overcome self-sabotage, so you can stop giving yourself an excuse for why you're not accomplishing your goals, why you're not becoming the person you want to be, and help you overcome them and start to dominate your goals this year and start to become the person you truly want to be. So, giving you a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about today. A big turning point in my life was after repeating this cycle so many times. I realized that goals, whether it's fitness, personal, or of course your professional goals, they can't be reached without first changing your mindset. Right. So we need to let go of that instant gratification. We need to accept that lasting change often feels slow at first, but it's possible. And of course, we just have to stay consistent with our action, and we have to have a healthy dose of self-love. So there's grace that comes with that. Some days we're just not going to be there 100% of the time. Some days we're going to feel like we're falling off the horse, but that's okay, because you have to wake up with that important attitude of it's a new day. Today I have a chance to become the person that I want to be. And we know we often push that person into the future, right? And the problem with that is we don't have a future. We only have today. So we cannot keep pushing our dreams off into the future, because if we do that, then we know we must be asleep to reach our dreams. So let's wake up and let's take action right now. Mental blocks. What are they? Think of these as those invisible barriers. So you're often talking down on yourself. That's negative self-talk. You can't do this. We are our worst critics, though. And I understand this because I've done it for many, many years. Often I wouldn't even create content because I was already telling myself how dumb it was, how no one was going to want to listen to me. How that can't be, yeah, you're creative, but you're just dumb. It's not funny. People are going to find it stupid. Do you see how I constantly am doing this to myself? You got to remember, though, it's just a thought. It doesn't mean it's the truth. It might be my truth. The more I tell myself that, the more I believe it. If you believe it, then you're right. Correct? All right. So how to move on from this? So we have to stop coming over this consistent thought of failure. And some of these other blocks, of course, are fear of failure. So we're hesitating because, of course, we just don't want to fail. And the reality is honestly, the more I fail, the more I learn. So we should actually be learning to fail, because remember, fail is first. What is fail? First attempt in learning. There we go. Gosh, I had a brain fart there. So I had a mentor tell me that first attempt in learning. That's what failure is. So the only time you fail truly is when you quit. And we're not giving up. That's why you're here. Listen to this stranger talk to you on the internet, right? Because you want to be better and you want to do better. The other one is fear of success, the opposite of that, right? Not a lot of people think of this, but once you become successful, once you become the person, you start to become that person you want to be, you realize you just added more and more to your plate. So not only are you successful, but you have to do more, and there's more responsibilities that come with being successful. So sometimes you're like, do I really want this? Do I really want to work out 5 days a week? Do I really want to be this competitive coach or this personal trainer, whatever it is you're working on in your business or personal life, it's going to be hard. But the reality is you have to choose your heart. And the last one, if you're anything like me, once again, you're often feeling like an imposter. So even when you learn the skills, even when you put in the time, you're waiting to be found out. Like someone's going to point out something in your belief system where they go, well, you're wrong. This is why you're wrong. And then you go, oh my gosh, I'm wrong. I'm an idiot. What was I thinking? How did I ever think I could help somebody overcome their own, thinking, negative thinking patterns when I can barely overcome my own? So that's another thing you're going to find out with helping yourself think better is don't focus on other people. Comparison is the thief of joy. Do not compare yourself to other people. Don't say, well, at least I'm not like this guy. Well, at least I'm not like them. No, no, no. You're just like you. So who are you and who are you going to be today? So again, comparison is the thief of joy. I'm not going to continue to compare myself to other people that I don't want to be like. I got to compare myself to myself. And that's it, right? Am I being the person I want to be? And what can I change to become that person? Here we go. So how do we rewire our belief system? Well, first we got to understand, where are we coming from? Are we coming from a negative state of thinking, a fixed mindset, or a more positive state of thinking, a growth mindset? Think of it this way. Someone who's fixed says, I'm stuck this way. I can't improve. But that's not true, right? We know that. A lot of, and I hate to say this, but a lot of fixed mindset folks tend to come from a victim mentality. So they often feel like a victim in their life. They feel like this just happened to me. I didn't have a say in this. I didn't choose to be brought up by this abusive family. I didn't choose to get sexually assaulted when I was a kid. I didn't choose to get fired by that job because I didn't show up for the third time in a row on time. You see, and again, it's not to push down and say that those things don't matter, because they do. And you are, you're worthy of love, you're worthy of consideration, validation, your feelings are valid, but it's not that the situation defines you, it just shapes you. And so we cannot become definitive or defined by our past. Rather, we have to learn, how can we recover from our past, recover from our mistakes. That's what you have to compare yourself to. And that turns into more of that growth mindset. I can learn, I can grow, I am intelligent, I am smart, but I can build on top of this intelligence. I can build on top of this framework to help myself be better. So, which mindset do you typically choose? What are you leaning towards? Again, I've been studying this for the last, I'd say, 8 years in totality. And I often find myself still having a negative mindset and have to kind of talk myself into speaking more positive about myself and what I'm trying to do. So, neuroplasticity, what is it? Dr. Joe Dispenza, great chiropractor, great doctor, someone who I truly really like to listen to, because he changes the framework. He changes your thought process in a way that says neurons that fire together, they truly wire together. So think of that. If I'm someone who wakes up every day and I look for that mundane, negative outlook on life and I say, oh, I'm too tired. I didn't get enough sleep. Oh, I hate this. Oh, I'm on my way to work. Here comes all these people in my way. Look at, there's another red light. There's another guy in my way. They're going slow. You see how that happens? And now I'm looking for the negative, looking for the negative. And so those neurons are firing together. Well, eventually they become a circuit. And that circuit is often on a feedback loop. So you're just continuing that negative feedback loop, waiting for something good to happen in your life. But it doesn't. So how do we change it? We have to change the way we're thinking so your brain can actually create new neural pathways. It doesn't just stop after high school. It doesn't just stop when you're even 25, like most scientists would say, 10, 20 years ago. Every day is a day to become better and start gaining new habits and getting better habits and putting those old negative habits that are doing you no good, are taking from you rather than feeding you. Get rid of them and start little bits at a time. There's a principle in business, actually a Japanese philosophy, which is called Kaizen. And I don't know exactly what it means, but it truly breaks down into becoming 1% better every day. So it's about the little things that you can focus on and that you can actually have control of. And that's your thoughts and your actions. The last thing is affirmations and visualization. So these are some tools that we can actually use. So think some short positive statements that help to reprogram your brain, right? Rather than saying today's a terrible day, I'm tired, I didn't get enough sleep. I'm thankful that I woke up in my home today. I'm grateful for the warmth of these covers. I am so thankful that I got up or I have a phone or an alarm system to wake me up. Not everyone has that. I woke up inside today. Some people woke up outdoors. I woke up with all my family still alive. Some people don't even have a mother or a father to lean on, right? So keep that in mind and have those affirmations. I am strong. I am intelligent. I am resilient. And I am worthy of love. Wake up every day telling yourself this. Visualize yourself. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Visualize yourself doing it and then start to work on it. That's how you become better. And that's how you actually achieve your goals. So we have to have, the emotional regulation, if you will. We have to regulate our emotions so that we can become powerful. Here we go. Emotional regulation and self-compassion. We all have triggers. When emotions run high, stress, anxiety, disappointment, it's easy to slip into this negative thinking or give up on yourself and want to quit. But remember, your emotions are like learning to drive your thoughts. You can't let your emotions drive you. You're the driver. That consciousness, that frontal lobe, that thinking brain, that's the driver. So you can drive and steer your own thoughts. Don't let them steer you. And that's how we come up with this self-compassion formula. So there's three parts, right? Acknowledge the problem. The problem is there, whether it's I just am procrastinating, I keep pushing it off, pushing it off. Validate your feelings, right? So validate that you don't feel like doing it. But why don't you feel like doing it? Maybe it's because you're not getting the results that you want. And then the last thing is, sorry about that if you can hear my dogs in the background. But anyway, you need to also encourage yourself to do better. So that might not be changing everything. If you're someone who's struggling with emotional regulation, how about this? Acknowledge that you struggle with emotional regulation. Validate that your feelings still matter, but encourage yourself to do better. Better, do better. So if let's say you get angry, stop for a second and just breathe. And some of these techniques that I like to do are like the box method, the 4-7-8. Deep breath in for 4 seconds. Hold for 7. And exhale for 8. And that is how you calm yourself down, get that regulated, and remind yourself what's possible. Anything is possible, but you have to be in the right state of mind. And then the coping skills that we talk about, focus on the problem, right? If you want to solve the problem, what is the problem? Are you scared of rejection? Are you scared of the conflict? Are you scared to talk with your boss because you know you want that raise? You know you feel like you earned it, but you're afraid to bring it up because you just don't want him to tell you. You don't want him to reject it, or you don't want him to criticize you. What if it's just the emotion? So I find myself snapping very quickly. Well, how do I regulate that emotion side and breathe and overcome that? Sometimes we don't even want to solve the problem. We just want to talk to somebody about it. We want to vent. Let that be known. Because if you talk to someone like me, I'm a very solution based person. So if you come to me with a problem, I'm going to find a solution. Unless, like my wife does sometimes, she says, I just want you to listen to me. Okay, give it to me. Talk to me. Let it all out. I'll listen. I'll validate your emotions, but I'm always going to encourage you. What if what if you would have done it this way? What if you would have reacted this way rather than the anger, rather than the doubt? You would have came with forgiveness, gratitude, thoughtfulness. How would that change your outlook on life? Learn from your mistakes, right? So how do we build these positive habits we're talking about, right? It's easier said than done. Come on, Dr. John. Yeah, okay, I get it. It's law of attraction. It's just being a positive person. Well, sometimes I'm positive I just want to slap somebody in the mouth. Sometimes I'm positive that I just don't want to deal with anyone today, right? But how do we do it? How do we be better? Habit stacking is one of the greatest tools that I've actually accomplished myself. I found a routine that I already do, right? We go to bed at night, we wake up in the morning, right? Attach a good habit to those routines because they're already there. You don't have to think about it as much. I wake up in the morning and I think to myself, what are 3 things I'm grateful for today? And I just list them. I don't write them down anymore as much as I'd like to, but I list them off in my head because it's the easiest thing to do and to find that gratitude in the morning. The other thing is, let's say you're brushing your teeth before bed. Well, before you brush your teeth or after you brush your teeth, if it's physical fitness you're after, do 10 squats, do 10 push ups. And then day by day, you can start to build on top of that. So that kind of sticks back to that morning and evening routine as well. 5 minutes or 10 minutes in the morning, every morning before work, I'm doing mobility. I got to move. I got to pump my legs. I got to pump my low back. I got to get that blood circulating. Or I could just go in, log into my computer, sit down, and just, can't wait till my first patient gets here. Gosh, today's going to be a long day. Look at all these patients, all these clinicals I have. This is just not going to work. Ugh, right? Instead, I get in there, I get my mindset right. My goodness, I'm sorry about that. You see, emotional regulation. I could yell, I could freak out, or I could just let it happen. And then afterwards, go ask them why they had to do that to me. So, accountability, find somebody. For me, it's my mentors, it's my boss, it's my associates. We're all very much in that same mindset of the growth mindset, right? We know that we're not exactly where we want to be at all times, but there's that potential to continue to be better. So, we push each other to be better. We're constantly meeting with each other, talking about work, talking about the future, talking about where we're currently at. And again, what do we want? How do we get better? And how can we do this together? Having a partner, having someone hold you accountable really can make the difference. But remember, willpower alone can't carry you forever. Habits work automatically. So once you get those established, that consistency is going to be so easy for you because it's a habit. Here we go. You're either procrastinating, you're fearful, you're doubting yourself, and you just don't know where to start. So, why do we undermine ourselves? Why are we undermining our own success? Because it's unconscious. So, your subconscious brain is one that does not reflect your frontal lobe, your thinking brain. It's in the emotional brain. We often call it the lizard brain in school because it's those limbic systems, the ones that are run on the amygdala, the dopamine, the fear response, the sympathetic fight or flight. You're getting overwhelmed, man. You have all these dreams, but once you actually start putting in the work and you're not getting the instant gratification, you're freaking your body out, and your body just wants to either fight somebody or it wants to run. It wants to run for its life and just survive. So are you in survival mode or are you thriving? And there's a difference between surviving and thriving. And the only difference, in my humble opinion, is how you deal with your problems. We can all give up. We can all quit, and we can give ourselves an excuse. I don't get paid enough for this. I don't get enough support for this. People don't give me the respect that I give them, so I'm done helping other people because they're not helping me. Well, let's be honest. You should not ask. There should be nothing you expect in return when you help somebody out of the gracious of your heart, out of the kindness of your heart. If you're truly doing it because you love that person, you can't expect anything in return. And that's the hard part, right? That is unconditional love. And we don't live in a place like that as much anymore. It's often, what do I get out of it? Well, what do I get? Right? So we got to stop that. Why put off tomorrow what you can do today? You That's something my father always told me, and I never truly understood it when I was a kid. Well, because I can do it tomorrow. Today I want to focus on having fun, playing video games, going out with my friends, riding some bikes, doing this, doing that. And although there's a time and a place for everything, when it comes to accomplishing your goals and actually living your dreams, you got to be that person. The person who gives no excuses, who develops discipline over motivation. So don't be fearful of the success, of the added responsibilities. That's what comes with being that person you want to be. Don't be fearful of failure. Failure is a part of the process. So welcome it with open arms and be ready to move forward. So here's a couple other tools we can use. The 5-second rule in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do the task. What's the task? You tell me. I don't know. My task was to make this video. So in 5 seconds, I gave myself 5 seconds and I just went for it. And I'm also working on not allowing myself to stop creating content because I messed up, because I didn't say a word I was supposed to say, because my dogs won't be quiet and I can just hear my wife yelling at them in the background, hoping that you guys can't. I'm not going to restart this video because what's that going to do for me and my personal health, my mental health? All it's going to do is tell me, well, I'll have to do it tomorrow. It'll make me put off my dreams, my goals, which is to help people with things like this, and understand grace and gratitude and action Unwavering action, just take it and take it now. The other one is the Pomodoro technique, which I often use very much so, and it helps a lot. Put a timer up, whether it's your phone, no distractions, 25 minutes, put it down, do your task. Whether it's working out, it's getting stuff done for your business, or it's getting stuff done in your personal life, like grocery shopping or creating a list for the week. Start it now. And then micro deadlines. Maybe you're just like, hey, I'll do this for 10 minutes. And if you do it for any longer than the 10 minutes, great. But I get there where I'm in the morning, I'm like, I'm going to do some yoga for 10 minutes. I start doing my yoga, I start doing my stretches. My dogs walk in. They're happy. They want to play. They want to eat. So here I go. I got to stop what I'm doing. I got to help them. Whereas some mornings I get up and I do it. 20 minutes go by and I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody's messed with me. Nobody's bothered me. Let's keep going for as long as I can. Right. So that's the idea with that one. How do we sustain that positive mental attitude we were talking about? Well, I'll say one thing that's truly helped me is regulating or having regular journaling sessions. I have a book that I had from grad school. It's been 3 years since I graduated graduate school. I still have that same journal because trust me, just like you, I Ooh, excuse me. I often procrastinate. I start my journaling and I dedicate it to my lovely girlfriend and my dog, and I'm super excited. I'm happy. I'm in the moment. And then 5 days go by, 6 days go by, seven, eight. I'm doing so good, 10. And then all of a sudden I had a bad week. And so with my bad week, I didn't do anything. And that just angers me, right? And so because I stopped and I didn't do what I was supposed to, I don't do it again the next day. And the next day I come back 2 months later, I'm like, I should start this again. I really should. And then I do it again. Right. So have some long-term goals, and also use that gratitude journaling. Find gratitude. Oh my gosh. Give me a second here. Okay, sustaining a positive mental attitude. So how do we do this? First of all, not only should you journal, right? Keep that journal by you, whether it's by your bed, in your office. I have two journals, so I'm trying to separate where I'm using those journals at. I'm a very kinesthetic visual learner. So, and I also kind of think about it this way. You relate your bedroom to sleeping, right? Psychologically, that's where you sleep. So I'm not going to do work in there. I'm not going to take my computer and do physical work in there because that's where I relax. That's where I sleep. But oftentimes I do like to have my journal by my bed because if I have a thought before I go to sleep, I can open up that journal and I can write in it. But I also like to keep a journal in my office, and it's often my meeting journal, things that I have to do for the week, so that way I can correlate or relate that journal to my productive brain, my mind that's trying to get things done. Celebrate the small wins, guys. So don't wait for the big success, right? Oh well, I want 100,000 followers by the end of this year. I want to get 100 likes on this video. Don't wait for that. Celebrate the small wins too. Sometimes I get 5 likes, 10 likes, and I'll find myself beating myself up because I'm not getting the engagement I thought I would. But other times, there was a time when I made a video. I just highlighted a story of some guy, Fish Hat Bob, actually, and I thought the story was inspiring. I was like, wow, that's really awesome. I want to just talk about that for a second because it highlights the opportunity, right? The opportunity of, can I just get 10 seconds of your time? You never know how far reaching the things you say, think, or do today will affect the lives of millions tomorrow. That's a BJ Palmer quote. I hear that all the time from my mentor. And it's very true because this guy, Fish Hat Bob, sitting at a mall one day, and I told the story just like this. He had someone walks up, says, that's a nice hat. Got a big fish on the front, tail on the back. And he says, where'd you get it? Let me get 10 seconds of your time. It's his brand. It's his business. And he made it in honor of his brother who passed away, and his daughter at the time gave him that hat. So it's like this really cool story of you never know. You just never know, but you should always be prepared. So whatever it is, be prepared and celebrate the little wins. Like I said, I was telling that story, and that story ended up getting like 300 likes, 12,000 views. That's not viral per se, but for me, it is. Right. And see how I'm already like shutting myself off. Like, nope, it really doesn't mean much. It does. 11,000 people saw it and over 300 people liked it. Like, that's amazing. That's cool. It means that people see it and they believe, like, you're right. You should always be prepared to give it your all, and understand what it is you do and how you help others, or even help yourself. Right. And the last thing is just tying it back to your physical goals. A strong mentality is always going to fuel better movement. So the stronger your mind is, the easier it is going to be to accomplish your fitness goals. Whether it's overcoming, low back pain, or trying to shed those few extra pounds that you wanted to shed since Thanksgiving, right? Less negative self talk. I've been there before. I used to play basketball, and my little sisters play now, and I watch them doing it to themselves. They miss a shot, and they're already in their heads talking about how bad they are. How does that work? How are you supposed to say, I shot my shot, I suck, I'll never be good, and then expect that the next shot you take, you're going to make, right? Because the expectation doesn't match the thought. You must have the thought first, the thought of, I can do this, anything's possible, and then you execute. So that's really the basis of this, because again, your mental attitude is going to fuel your physical results. And I'm pretty sure that's it. So remember, guys, first things first, awareness is key. So we covered all the mental blocks, rewiring those beliefs, having a more positive growth mindset. We talked about managing those emotions, building the habits and routines, and overcoming self-sabotage. So doing this and helping ourselves maintain that positive mental attitude. Awareness first, consistent practice, and self-compassion are key. So the next steps is really just using the worksheets that I provided below. You'll find them in the links. Use those worksheets, please. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think about them. Did they help you? Did they not help? I really am just here to help as many people as possible. And last but not least, thank you. If any of you stayed this long, I truly am grateful that you stayed and went through this video presentation with me. It does mean a lot, I promise. And I do this for whoever's watching, and I encourage you guys to keep going and question yourself, question your thoughts, question your actions, question everything. Why are we doing this? Why are we here? And how do we move forward? How do we not stay in this same mundane life that we're like always dreading? And I put some numbers down here. I do believe that, if you follow this to a T, even in myself, I don't always follow it to a T, but if I did, oh well, man, there would be a 98 to 100% success rate guaranteed. I want to have 100 people satisfied with my course and my videos within the next year. And I think within 5 years, if we do it right and I stay consistent, I'm truly wanting to help over 1,000 people get better, live healthier, happier lifestyles, and encourage them to have a healthy, positive mental attitude. Wow. There we go. And then I did put the extras here, but I got another PDF in the link below. So let me know if you got them. And if there's any dead links or anything like that, just let me know. Otherwise, have a great night. And if I don't see you, well, stay blessed.